What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update on Tesla stock, break down what's happening to the overall market, and give you guys a warning about what I'm seeing so far. Let me just mention I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire community as a whole. So, I have a very, very important update involving the Giga Mexico. I'm going to talk about that very briefly. Then I'm going to talk about the share price of Tesla and SPY. So when it comes to Giga Mexico, there's been a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of excitement about it, despite the fact that a lot of the job listings have been removed. This is what's been happening with Tesla, at least all over the world. But I just want to note that when it comes to the way things are going, there's been a lot of progress being made to construction in the Nuevo Leon area. That's actually where the new Gigafactory is going to be held. And there's also going to be new preliminary construction projects to be not only continued but maintained for the time being. Right now, the Secretary of Economy, his name is Ivan Rivas. I may have said that wrong. I apologize, but they basically came out and they said that the state maintains a very good relationship with Tesla, and they are regularly communicating with the companies. That's great news for them moving forward. And they're talking about some incentives related to Giga Mexico as well. So good news, at least with that. There have not been any bad signs so far, any signals for change, and they're continuing to construct what's necessary for them to start working very soon. He also mentioned that they're going to continue to communicate very, very closely, and Tesla is coming. He said that 2 times. Tesla is coming. Tesla is coming. They don't know exactly when they're going to like finish construction and such, but they are saying that Tesla will come despite what's been going on. There were some people concerned about the layoffs involving Tesla. There was some talk about that. There was some talk about that in Mexico as well, but that's going to be okay because moving forward, this will help create more jobs and a lot more growth in the area, and it's going to be very, very important. Also, it's worth noting that this is actually incentivizing a lot more businesses. So more than 30 new businesses are also moving to the area to supply Giga Mexico. That's great news as well, and I can't wait to see what else is being said. There's also going to be more talk during a future meeting going into June 26th through the 27th. That's going to be very important as well. But that's pretty much it, at least for the headline involving this. Very, very good update, in my personal opinion, from the news, and very, very big updates from very important officials in Mexico. On top of this, there's been some talk right over here that came out that Tesla is breaking some new changes to be made to the Megapack energy storage factory in Shanghai. There's been a lot of talk about this, at least in the past, and this is going to be very key for them because the $200 million plant in Shanghai is going to be important for their growth, and Tesla's expanding it for their battery production, which is going to be very huge. So, with the mass production starting in early 2025, the initial capacity was about 10,000 megapacks per year. They're going to continue to expand that, and that's going to be very useful as well. Very important for what Tesla's trying to develop. Anyways, that's it for news about Tesla. I went over the other headlines in my previous videos. So if you want to see more headlines, just look at my previous video. If anything, even my video from yesterday has a lot of them that are still very important and very up to date. But for now, let's talk about Tesla. What is going on with Tesla? What's going on with the market? I first want to talk about SPY when it comes to kind of talking about Tesla. So SPY is in a very, very critical place right now. It dipped quite a bit upon open, came all the way down to 525.35. Came just short of the 524.8 target, but that's okay. It's not necessarily the end of this sell off yet because SPY is trying to rebound. But despite this little rebound, I want to actually pull up something very important. If we take this Fibonacci retracement chart and start from this top here, come all the way down just like this, what you'll find that's very interesting is the fact that this actually aligns very well with our key Fibonacci retracement area. I think I actually drew it out from here. That's another way you can actually do this. And you can see that we're actually very, very close to our 0.382 fib retracement area right here. This is where SPY is kind of like trying to hold up. It's very close to 527.3 around that area. So I would say that if SPY does break through that, if we break 527.3, we could be pushing for 528. If you don't break this resistance, there could be a rejection coming and a move to the downside is still possibly imminent. It depends on if we break this low or not, but I do think if we fail to break 527.3, there's going to be a rejection and move back down, and that could add to some downward pressure for Tesla, right? When the market came down, so that did drag Tesla down, and we'll have to see how this goes as we also have this gap to fill on SPY, so I'll be very patient with this. If we fail to break 527.3, we could get a rejection. This could be a little bit more bearish for Tesla. Tesla is still holding up decently. It's not really crashing or anything like that. It's still very, very range bound. What you'll see is that we have this resistance right here. The first one worth noting would be 176.6. Then we also have around 178 above that. Our support happens to be at 175, then also at 173 to 172. So, in my personal opinion, for the way Tesla's moving, we're just going to likely consolidate. We're still in this very, very boring phase for Tesla. Like I've said earlier, the same setup is still holding with this inverse head and shoulders like structure. That is still valid. It's still holding its position. But the issue with this is the fact that we're not really ready to break out yet. We're just continuing to consolidate and we're just stuck within this sideways range. So as long as this happens, I'll just continue to report the same thing. We're still stuck on Tesla. We're just shuffling between supply and demand and may just continue to do so as time goes on. So we have that resistance at 180 and also at 178. We have support at 173 to 172, and Tesla's just stuck between this range. We'll give this some time, may just continue to range trade. Now, if SPY were to get a rejection and fails to break 527.3 and we start dipping again, we have a gap to fill at 523 on SPY. This could be correlated with Tesla also coming down towards the lower levels all the way down here, all the way down to 172 to 173. So always watch for that just to be safe. For the QQQ, it's the same thing. Essentially, it's trying to rebound just like SPY, but I would still be very careful because when I bring up the hourly time frame, you guys can see this has been dipping quite a bit, trying to rebound a little bit. So we will see how this ends up moving. We are holding very well above 458, but we'll have to see if we could try to hold around 458.5. If we break through that, then yes, we could be looking for a push up to this imbalance at 459 and then, up to these highs again. If we end up establishing a lower high, I could see the QQQ making its way back down to 420, 457, excuse me, then 455, and even lower levels like that. Losing 455 would be the most bearish thing. Then we'd have a gap to fill below. So we will see how well it holds up. Overall, it's trying to rebound a bit, but we're still technically at a lower high relative to these highs. So this doesn't really give us much just yet. For Nvidia, I told you all that Nvidia is going to test 1125 or so, like around that area. If we had broken through this and started to sink really hard, then we easily could have fallen to about 1100, but we didn't really break through it and hold. We actually got bought back up. So now we have resistance at 1150. We have support at 1125. We're still holding up very well on Nvidia. If this does come back down, this could slow the QQQ down a bit. So make sure you're very, very prepared to watch this. We have resistance at 1150 because we did reject there 2 times, actually 3 times so far. So that's going to be our resistance zone. So far, it's just shuffling. It is showing some strength. It does want to push a little higher, but just be very careful with Nvidia. For Apple's been trying to rebound as well. It actually held above. I told you if we broke 190.5, look for 192 as resistance. And if we lose that support, we're going to be dipping all the way down to 189.3, then 188. I actually thought it might dip a bit. It did dip and then ended up bouncing temporarily, but now we're just shuffling at 192. So watch and see if we continue to break out to 193.5 or if we get a rejection off 192. Resistance is tough up here, so it could come back down. So just be careful with Apple. We're at some tough resistance. So we'll see how things go, at least for this moving forward. For a few more tickers out there, just to be very, very quick, we have basically Amazon. It's pushed up to the 200 EMA around 183. Now we have support at 182. We'll see if we get some kind of rejection or not. So far, we're holding up very well on Amazon, but we're testing our 200 EMA as resistance around 183.3. So give that some time. For Coinbase, we also have our 50 EMA around 235. If we lose this, we're going to be dipping lower. If we hold this, then we could continue to shuffle. So watch support around 235. We'll see how well this holds or not. For Meta is also trading kind of size. We have 480 as resistance. We have support currently at 474. So we'll have to see how things end up going from here. Overall, Meta is showing some strength. If we break 480, look for 482, then 485. Overall, not looking too bad. GameStop and AMC are both dipping. They actually failed to hold the key supports I called out. So if we lose 21.9, look for a dip on GameStop all the way down to this imbalance. Could be dipping all the way down, back down to 20 or so. AMC is also looking kind of weak, kind of failed to hold this support right here around 4.6. I was calling a little bit of a dip to 4.6, but now we're down to 4.5. It's a little bit lower than expected. But there's still a nice accumulation phase. There could still be a big break coming in the summertime. Otherwise, we're still kind of stuck where we are. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Just note the market is showing some weakness here. It's kind of struggling at some tough resistance. And if we do get a rejection, this could cause Tesla to dip even lower. So be a little bit careful. The overall market is kind of like affecting the way Tesla is moving right now. So we will give this the time it needs and make sure you watch the key supports I called out. So we'll see how well Tesla holds up here. If we get this rejection on SPY, we could be dipping all the way down to that gap fill. The next level would be like 523 by tomorrow. And that could cause Tesla to dip all the way down closer to 173, if not lower levels. Just be careful, guys. There is a risk of some downside. I want to give you guys a warning. And despite that warning, just know that the future of Tesla is still very bright, as we have some nice updates coming out when it comes to the Giga Mexico and such. All right. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys in just a few hours, and peace out.